Okay, class, we are going to review how to do our extended response questions. We're going to be having our test coming up, and your leader at your group is going to be in charge. But I'm going to give you directions, and you can go with what the leader says. I need everybody to grab one of these sheets. This is an extended response question that we've worked on before in our gallery walk, but we want to go through this one so that we remember the process. What we're doing today is about the process for how to do extended responses and multiple choice questions. So we want to make sure that we understand the process. We know that we've done this actual question before. Some of you may remember the answers, some of you may not, but we already know that we've done that. So the first thing that you need to do is you need to take a few minutes and you need to read over the graph and the chart. Remember, there's a graph here, there's two pictures here, and there is a small paragraph. You know that when you look at these kind of things, what you need to do is figure out what is the graph and chart telling you and then write it down. So your leader right now is going to pause this podcast for just a few minutes while you guys do that. She's going to walk around the table, he or she's going to walk around the table and make sure that you guys are doing the right thing on there. Then we are going to add them all onto the board. Your leader will write them on the board for you. And I'm going to put some on this board that you may add to your own board. So please take a few minutes to do that. You can go ahead and pause it now. Now that we've started back up again and you have some things on the board already, and if you don't have things on the board, please pause and put some things on the board before we continue. You're going to have your things on the board. And let's see what some things are that we would have added if we were talking about them with me. If you look on here, on the very upper first part of this, you're going to notice that the graph is only for Sunday, and the picture is for both Sunday and Monday. Okay, so the graph is for Sunday. Pick Sunday and Tuesday. I'm sorry, I said Monday, but it's Sunday and Tuesday. Okay? Write these down as we go along so that you can remember what kind of things are on here. It has different cities on here. It has 6 different cities. It gives us the high and low temperatures. All right, so we have 6 cities, high, low temps for each one. And then it also gives us our barometric pressure in millibars and percents at 6 a.m. at each one of those. All right? So we have our pressure, 6 a.m. What are some of the things that you notice about the correlation between your barometric pressures and your temperatures? What do you notice? The increase in temperature, what happens to our barometric pressure? We should also have an increase and barometric pressure, right? So that you keep that in mind and you realize that that is what's going on there. If you look down at the weather maps that you have Sunday and Monday, we have different types of fronts that are running north and south, and those fronts running north and south are what kind of fronts? Remember, they have the points on them, look like icicles, and we call those cold fronts. So we have cold fronts, and those cold fronts are coming from the west onto the coast by right south Seattle. We also have a cold front just west of Cleveland on your Sunday map. On your Tuesday map, both of those low pressures have moved eastward. So this is on Sunday, and on Tuesday, both of those cold fronts moved east. Also on this graph, you should notice on the maps, you should notice that we have a warm front going like this to the north of our cold fronts. If you look at our low and high pressures, if you notice, your low pressures are at the top of your cold fronts. Your high pressures are behind your cold fronts. So your high pressures behind your cold front, and your low pressures your low is with your cold front. Okay? So those are some things that kind of fall on to what this is telling us. Our map is north, south, west, and east here. All right? Now, all this on here, I would like you to pause one more time because I want you to pause so that you can make sure you have all of this on here. Flip over to the other side and let's take a look at what our question is here. Our question is, in your answer document, using the two weather maps and the table of weather data, predict the likelihood of precipitation and probable sky conditions or cloud cover for Cleveland for Sunday and for Tuesday. Give reasons for your predictions for each day. It is 4 points. So I'm going to get 1 point for telling me what my precipitation and cloud cover is going to be like on Sunday, and 1 point what it's going to be like on Tuesday. We're only looking at Cleveland here. Then I'm going to get 1 point each of why I predicted that on what was going to be going on. So go ahead and pause. I want you to write down 4 different bullet points, and then I want you to, as a group, share what's going on, what you think the answers are, and add those all together. So go ahead and pause. All right, you should be back now. Now that you're back, let's take a look at it. Let's look at our weather, first of all, on Cleveland for Sunday. For Sunday, we have a cold front coming through. It is just west of Cleveland. We have a warm front north of Cleveland, and we have a high pressure and a low pressure. So we should have what type of temperatures on Sunday in Cleveland? The low pressure is not there yet, correct? So if the low pressure is not there yet, we are probably not going to have real high temperatures, but we're not going to have real cold temperatures either. And if we look at our map on here, you can tell that we had some higher temperatures on the 24 hours before, and they may probably be dropping because our cold front is going to bring cooler temperatures. So we should have cooler temperatures. And what should we be having with our low pressure in terms of cloud cover, etc.? It should be kind of cloudy that day. Why? Because we have a cold front and we have our low pressure coming through. On Tuesday, that is already passed, and we have a high pressure coming through. And that high pressure should give us some more reasonable temperatures. So share with your group leader some of your answers right now. And once you do that, if there's still time remaining, I want you and the group leaders to go through numbers 7, 8, 9, and 10 and answer them by looking at the map. Remember, when you answer multiple choice questions, it's not so much about writing all this information down that you know. What it is about pick the answer, but also know why the other 3 answers are not good choices. So please, when you're discussing those, I want that conversation to be going on. So leaders, please make sure that that's going on. If you as a leader need some help or the group needs some help, please come find me. I'll be over at the lab station for this class. Thank you.